Have you ever wondered about the tiny specks of land that hold the world's superpowers in a delicate balance? Today, we're diving into the geopolitical importance of the Paracel Islands. Tucked away in the South China Sea, these islands might seem insignificant at first glance, but they're far from it. The Paracel Islands, a group of coral islands and reefs, are a point of contention among three major Asian powers: China, Vietnam, and Taiwan. Each of these nations lays claim to the islands, making them a hotbed of regional tension. But why, you might ask, would anyone care about these islands? Well, the answer lies in their strategic location. These islands sit right in the middle of vital international sea routes, making them a prime piece of real estate for controlling maritime traffic and resources. Currently, the Paracel Islands are under the control of China. However, this hasn't stopped Vietnam and Taiwan from asserting their own claims over the islands, leading to a complex and ongoing territorial dispute. Now, you might be wondering where the United States fits into this equation. The U.S., while not a claimant itself, has a vested interest in maintaining freedom of navigation in the area. The South China Sea is a major artery of global trade, and any disruption could have significant implications for international commerce. The U.S. has been conducting freedom of navigation operations in the region, asserting its rights and those of its allies to freely navigate these crucial waters. These operations are aimed at challenging any excessive maritime claims and ensuring the sea remains open for all to use. So, despite their small size, the Paracel Islands play a crucial role in the geopolitics of the South China Sea. They're not just specks of land, but a stage where the interests of major global players intersect and collide. As we can see, these seemingly insignificant islands are a hotbed of international tension. But where does the United States stand on this? The United States, as a key player in global politics, has a critical role in the Paracel Islands dispute. The islands, a contentious point of dispute in the South China Sea, are claimed by China, Vietnam, and Taiwan. But where does the United States stand in this intricate geopolitical puzzle? The U.S. typically does not take sides in territorial disputes. It's not about favoring one nation over another, but about upholding the principles of international law and freedom of navigation. These principles are vital for maintaining peace and stability, not just in the South China Sea, but across the globe. The United States emphasizes the importance of peaceful resolution of disputes. It's not about winning or losing, it's about dialogue, negotiation, and mutual respect. It encourages the parties involved in the Paracel Islands dispute to engage in direct conversations and work towards a peaceful resolution. This stance is not just rhetoric. The U.S. has been actively supporting the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, in this matter. ASEAN, a regional group comprising 10 Southeast Asian countries, plays a significant role in maintaining regional stability. The U.S.'s support for ASEAN amplifies the importance of regional cooperation and diplomacy in resolving territorial disputes. The United States may not have a direct claim in the Paracel Islands dispute, but it certainly has a role to play. It stands as a beacon of principles that uphold international law, freedom of navigation, and peaceful resolution of disputes. Its stance is clear. Disputes should be resolved not through coercion or force, but through dialogue and respect for international law. While the U.S. does not claim any stake in the islands, it firmly stands for the principles of international law and peace. It's a stance that reflects not just a position on a territorial dispute, but a broader commitment to peace, stability, and respect for international law. And if you appreciate this balanced perspective, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more insightful content. Actions speak louder than words, and the United States has indeed acted in accordance with its stated stance. Now let's talk about the United States' actions in the South China Sea, particularly near the Paracel Islands. The U.S. has been conducting what it calls freedom of navigation operations. These operations are not simply joyrides across the open sea. They are a potent demonstration of the United States' commitment to upholding international law, particularly the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. The U.S. Navy routinely sails its ships through the waters of the South China Sea, including those near the Paracel Islands. This is not to provoke or to flex muscles, but to affirm the right of all nations to freely navigate international waters. By doing so, the U.S. sends a clear message that it will not stand by if any country, big or small, tries to unlawfully claim or control these open seas. But it's not just about showing naval strength. The U.S. has also been active on the diplomatic front. It has consistently called for the peaceful resolution of disputes in the South China Sea. The U.S. has urged all parties involved, including China, Vietnam, and Taiwan, to resolve their differences through dialogue and negotiation rather than through force or coercion. The U.S. has also used its influence in international forums to raise awareness about the situation in the South China Sea. It has consistently backed the principles of freedom of navigation, respect for international law, and the peaceful resolution of disputes. These principles are not just good for the United States, they are good for the world. To further reduce tensions, the U.S. has also supported confidence-building measures in the region. These initiatives help to prevent misunderstandings, miscalculations, or accidents that could escalate into conflict. In essence, the United States' actions in and around the Paracel Islands are not born out of a desire to stir trouble or seek confrontation. Rather, they reflect a commitment to uphold the rule of law, maintain freedom of navigation, and promote peace and stability. Through these actions, the U.S. has shown its commitment to maintaining peace and stability in the region. And that's a wrap for this scene. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Stay tuned for the next scene, where we'll summarize the U.S. stance and actions regarding the Paracel Islands. Let's recap what we've learned about the U.S.'s stance and actions regarding the Paracel Islands. This disputed territory in the South China Sea has been a hotbed of international tension, with the United States maintaining a unique position that balances neutrality and firmness. The U.S. does not take sides in territorial disputes, but it firmly upholds international law and the principle of freedom of navigation. This stance is not just about the Paracel Islands, but reflects the broader American commitment to a rules-based international system. In terms of actions, the United States conducts regular freedom of navigation operations in the South China Sea, including the waters surrounding the Paracel Islands. These operations are not meant to provoke or escalate tension, but rather to assert the right of all nations to freely navigate international waters. Alongside these operations, the United States also engages in diplomatic efforts, aiming to foster dialogue and peaceful resolution of disputes. It calls on all parties to respect international law and to refrain from actions that could destabilize the region. In essence, the U.S.'s stance and actions regarding the Paracel Islands can be seen as a microcosm of its larger foreign policy vision. It's about upholding international norms, promoting peaceful resolution of disputes, and ensuring freedom of navigation for all nations. The Paracel Islands, although small, hold a significant place in global geopolitics. The United States, with its actions and policies, continues to play a vital role in shaping this narrative. We've journeyed through the geopolitical maze of the Paracel Islands and the U.S.'s pivotal role in it. It's a fascinating, intricate dance of power and diplomacy, isn't it? The Paracel Islands, though small in size, are a microcosm of the larger global stage. They serve as a reminder of how interconnected our world truly is and how seemingly isolated events can have far-reaching implications. The U.S.'s stance on the Paracel Islands isn't just about a few specks of land in the South China Sea. It's a statement about international law, freedom of navigation, and the balance of power in a rapidly changing world. It's about standing up for principles that go beyond borders and impact us all. It's now up to you to think about these issues, to question, to ponder. The world of geopolitics is never black and white, but a vibrant palette of grays. And understanding these nuances is more critical than ever in our interconnected world. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the geopolitical importance of the Paracel Islands and the role of the United States, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Stay tuned for more insightful content.